All right, parents, time to get ready for the parent-teacher conference. Yep, because just showing up for the conference anymore, it's not going to help your kids get the best education necessarily. So right now we've got Principal Priscilla Gossett from Madison Heights Elementary School joining us this morning with a few tips. This is something that we don't necessarily think about. We first want to congratulate you, though, for being an exemplary principal for 2018.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful honor. That is awesome. So we appreciate your time on this Sunday morning. Parents don't probably necessarily think ahead of time about having to prepare for this annual event, but it's a good time to really get to know your teacher.
Exactly. What we say is we'd like for you, or we say it's ideal if you've met your child's teacher before the conference, but if you haven't, that's okay. Please still go to your conference and make sure that you're participating via either phone or in person. As well, teachers are taking advantage of how we're all connected with smartphones and using apps to communicate and make it easy to communicate with parents. Teachers mostly these days have websites, and so it's great as parents that we are getting on those sites and checking for the most updated information on what's going on in our child's classroom so that we are prepared for the parent-teacher conference. Also, many districts are using information systems where you in a timely manner can check grades for your child, and often on those sites there's a direct link to your child's teacher's email address, and you can take advantage of that right then and there when you have a question and directly email the teachers to always keep in contact.
It's so vital that open communication between the parent and the teacher, just so that everybody is on the same page for how their child is doing, not just academically, but emotionally as well.
Oh, that's exactly right. So what we say is there's not a problem or an issue that's too small or too big. So we want to know about those things happening in your child's life.
Such as, like you're talking about, like life events, like if a new baby brother or sister is born, or a divorce maybe in the family.
Exactly. So some of those, as I was saying, some of those smaller issues, a parent might think, they don't want to bother a teacher by communicating with them, but it's really not a bother for us. We can take care of things quickly with 5-minute phone call conversations with parents. Also, life-changing events that are going to significantly impact your child's learning in the classroom. We want to know about those right away before a parent-teacher conference so that we can help support the child, and if necessary, connect you and the parent with resources that the school may have to help you and support you during that time.
Yeah, and it gives the teacher a lot of understanding. So what exactly, we're a parent going in to this conference, as a parent, what should I be asking?
You can ask a question. Most parents like to ask about how they can support at home. What kinds of activities they can do, what kind of resources that they need to have in the home in order to support the child. And as a teacher and a school community, we're going to make sure that we are giving you strategies, ideas that aligns to your child's age, the grade, and the content that's expected to be learned at that time.
All right, so we've got those up on your screen right now. So we want to know what our child can improve on. What are the areas? So teachers already know within this first month of school where our children are strong and where they're a little bit weaker, and what we can do at home.
That's exactly right. So there's going to be, in your conference, your children have been in school about 45 days now.
Okay,
so
already?
Yes. So that's plenty of time to get to know your child. The teacher's going to review some academic data, some scores on assessments as compared to typical peers. Your child's teacher is going to talk about strengths, also some challenges that your child may be having. And then they're going to ask you how things are going at home with things they may be sending home, and they're going to ask you to have questions as well.
It's so important for the kid to know that the teacher and the parent, we're on the same page.
Exactly.
We are communicating. I'm going to know everything that's happening in school because your teacher is going to email me, or I'm going to text, and we're just going to have this open line of communication so that we're all, because the goal is really the same, right? We're all here for the benefit of this child's success.
Yeah, you have to think of us as a three-legged stool where each leg represents the parent, one represents the child, one represents the teacher. And if one of those legs is missing to that stool, that's on a very functional stool. So it's so important for us to be partners and be in constant communication so that we're all working towards all those little kiddos that we love so much.
Oh, Principal Priscilla Gossett, thank you. That's a great analogy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Something that parents don't always think about is their preparedness going into these important conferences that are just starting to get underway this year. So thanks again.
Thank you.